and he's a member of our own congregation. He teaches Course in Miracles. He's a life coach and spiritual mentor. If everybody would give a big hand for Max Ryan.
Thank you. I love it. It's so great to be here. Talk about synchronicity. Can you put the love one back up there? That love slide? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to see you. Let's take a big deep breath. Good. Let's say a prayer. Shut our eyes. Dear Mother, Father, God, divine source, universe, all that is. We come together today with open hearts, open minds, and an open spirit. We allow today to be a time of love and support and guidance for everyone here and everyone watching in any form. And we ask that everything that transpires today be of the highest form of love and the vibration of peace and joy. And we take a big deep breath. And together we say, thank you very much. And so it is. Amen. Okie dokie. All right. So, as I was listening to Ernest Holmes, I was like, why am I here? Because he pretty much said almost everything, right? Everything. But I want to kind of address something with you all today that I think is really an interesting idea. Who's into an interesting idea today? Good. Because if we don't keep challenging our beliefs, we stay the same, right? Say yes? Yes. Right. So I want to challenge you today about something. I want to challenge you because if you were to Google love yourself, I'm going to tell you exactly what happens. If you search love yourself, what was that? My God, it's God, dog, it's God, dog. If you search the word love yourself on Google, in 0.67 seconds, that's less than a second, you will come up with 75,600,000 results. Do you get that? So do you think that people are trying to love themselves? Yes or no? If you've been around this work for a while, and even if you're new, even if you've never been around this kind of Ernest Holmes, new agey, woo-hooey stuff, you probably have heard from the common world saying, the only way you're ever going to get peace is to love yourself. Have you heard that, yes or no? There's books written about it, right? You could go into the bookstore, especially a metaphysical bookstore, it's going to be like, you better love yourself. You better stop hating yourself. You better love yourself. You get that, everybody? And I'm going to put it out there that that is an epidemic. There is an epidemic of everyone searching to try to what? Love themselves. Let me ask you this. When you are constantly searching, is that a good vibration? No. It's a desperate vibration. Am I right? Now, it might come from a very beautiful place, right? Obviously, it's all about love, and you want to get rid of fear. See, I knew years ago that getting these tattoos was the best thing I could ever do for my career. But listen, here's the deal. It comes from a good place. But the problem with it is that if you're trying to love yourself, you're screwed. Take a big deep breath. The reason that you're screwed is because you don't know who you are. Because most people are trying to love the parts of them that are screwed up. Am I right, yes or no? Yes. Oh, I'm going to love all my craziness. I'm going to love all this stuff that I don't really like even. Is that right? Yes or no? Yeah, totally. So let me tell you this. In the ancient temple of Apollo at Delphi, there are two words that are on top of that temple. Do you know what those two words are? Know thyself. Know thyself. Most of us have no freaking idea who the hell we are. So if you're trying to love yourself, it's a fool's errand. Do you get it? So you have to follow what's ascribed to Socrates, those two words. What are those two words? Know thyself. So if you truly start to know yourself, it's a whole different game. It's a whole different game. Are you following me here? It's a whole different game because you're not running around trying to love something you don't even know. It doesn't make sense. It's insane. And this world will tell you, you got to keep staying in the crazy game. You got to keep searching, keep trying, keep figure it out, figure out. And that just leads to more insanity. Take a deep breath, everyone. Now, those two words, know thyself, are attributed to Socrates, right? Who knows Socrates' work? And if you don't, you need to read some Socrates, because it's going to help you to know yourself, right? So, but actually, historians have traced that back to the ancient Egyptians, right? So the ancient Egyptians came before Greece, right, of what we know of Greece. So it really is attributed to ancient Greece, and it's actually attributed to the Luxor Temple, not the one in Las Vegas. So the Luxor Temple has two ways to get into the Luxor Temple from the ancient Egyptian. There's actually two temples, basically. There's the external temple, and there's the internal temple. Now remember, this is all metaphysical, and it's an analogy, okay? But that's how they lived, because they were living in that metaphysical world, basically, right? So the external temple is where the beginners are allowed to enter. The beginners are allowed to enter the external part, right? So if we look at, you're like, so this is, who wants to go really deep in their spiritual life, right? But we have to start at the beginning, right? We have to start as a beginner, right? So in the beginning, you want to learn about your external self, right? Your external self is your sex, your job, your labels, your where you live, all of those things. You follow me? That's the external self, okay? And you need to know what that is, basically. But this is where people get confused. They keep thinking they're trying to love the external self. But as the ancient Egyptian says, the advanced students go to the internal temple. They go to the internal temple where a person was only allowed to enter after they're proven worthy and ready to acquire more knowledge and insights from their gods. And the reason that they were able to go into the internal temple is that they knew who they were from the external level. So listen, if you want to really go deep and you really want to make your life meaningful and joyful, who's on that train with me? Then you have to go beyond the external. And you can't keep searching in the external world to try to love something. Does that make sense, everyone? Now, in A Course in Miracles, which is what I teach all the time, I'm a student and a teacher, it says everything in your life that you experience, that you attract, that you make, or you create, is based on who you believe you are. Take a deep breath. So if you believe, are you ready for a big one? If you believe you're a flawed being that needs to learn to love themselves, guess what kind of experiences and things and situations and people you're going to attract into your life? Take a deep breath, because this is where the rubber meets the road, my friends. This is every one of you said you wanted to go to advanced school, right? And if you want to go to advanced school, you have to really understand that your perception of who you are is everything. What is it? Everything. It's everything. And when you start to get who you truly are, guess what you don't have to try to do anymore? Love yourself. You don't have to try to love yourself anymore. So next time that you're trying to love yourself, I'm going to talk about acceptance in a second. Next time that you find yourself, I better love myself, I better love myself, I better love myself, you're insane. You need to take a breath and go, oh shit, I forgot who I was. And that's how your mind works. Right? Am I right? Because you'll be in that place of like, and then it's because you forgot who you are. You forgot who you are. So stop trying to love yourself and instead be more love. Take a deep breath. There is incredible joy and peace in just being more love than trying to love yourself. You get it? I want to read something to you from A Course in Miracles that's really, 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 anyway, you'll get it. The beginning of A Course in Miracles is an introduction that's just a paragraph and a little thing, and I want to read this to you because it's really important. It says, this course does not aim at teaching the meaning for love, for that is beyond what can be taught. Do you get it? It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to love's presence. Now this part's the kicker, which is your natural inheritance. So, what is he saying there? He's saying, you are love. You can't teach something that you don't know. Every one of us here in this room, if you're aware of it or not, already knows your love. And part of your brain's going, that's bullshit. It is. I don't know I'm loved because I have this situation with my boyfriend, and I don't have love because I have this situation with my finances. I don't have this love because I have a situation with my physicality. Those are external. Do you get it? That's beginner level stuff, my friends. You all said you wanted to be advanced. So every time that you think that you are your circumstances, you're beginner level. Right? So you got to wake up. You got to wake up. Because he goes on to say, listen, your love is your natural inheritance. You just come here, as Ernest Holmes says, you're just love. You're just love. You are just love. And he goes on to say, the opposite of love is fear. But what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. What does that mean? What's all-encompassing? Love. So, in the world of duality, there is love and fear. But in truth, there is only love. So nothing unreal can be threatened. It is the truth. What's the truth? Love. So nothing real can be threatened. And nothing unreal really exists. Therein lies the peace of God. Take a deep breath. So all your fear isn't real. All your anxiety is not real. All your worrying is not real. It is a figment of your imagination that the mind is using to keep you stuck. It's a figment of your imagination that the mind is using to keep you reading another self-help book. Do you get it? And the more that you follow that, it's like a dog chasing its tail. In this moment right here, right now, do you need to try to love yourself? You have to be more love. Take a deep breath. Let's close our eyes for just a second. I want you to just allow what I've kind of said to you to just sink in for a moment, just an instant. And ask yourself, honestly, am I willing to stop the search? Am I willing to stop trying to make my life work? Am I willing to stop searching for that elusive answer? Am I willing to stop trying to control the world and situations on the external level so that I can have it the way I want it? Take a deep breath. And the answer that you come up with in the internal, deeper part of yourself, if you're really there, is going to be a resounding yes. I'm ready to stop. Take a deep breath. And open your eyes when you're ready. Good. All right. I know we're with time right now, so. The one thing that is one of the most powerful questions you can ever ask repeatedly in your life is, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? If you have that, who am I, while you meditate, if you have that, who am I, while I'm dealing with this problem in my life, if you're asking that while you're dealing with your successes in your life, you're going to find out that you're not on the external level. That the truth of you is not the circumstance. The truth of you is not the part of you that's saying, you better heal yourself. The truth of you is not even the part of you that goes, oh, you know what, if you just figure that one thing out. That's not the truth of you. That is an illusion. And the more you can, like what Ernest said, the more you can stop and be in the moment and feel the presence of life. That's why, do you see how I'm continually asking you to breathe? Right? Just like what Ernest was saying, the same breath that you're taking, the cat takes, the dog takes. Life is in the breath. Life is in the breath. And the more you can slow down and take a breath, the faster your life is going to go. Do you get that? Because the more fast you try to go to try to get the answer, try to get this thing, do, you're in the illusion, and then you're really just making things, you're not really creating anything. But when you, spinning wheel, but when you slow down, I won't say slow the F down, but I will. When you slow down, and what I say, back the F up, and you stop, you're like, why am I trying to get somewhere? Who am I anyway? Those are the deep questions. Those are the questions that are going to get you to what Ernest Holmes was saying, is that eventually you just get in the place where you're just in the flow. That it doesn't matter what's happening externally, you're just in the flow of love. And it's possible for you in this moment, it's possible for you in 10 minutes, it was possible for you 10 years ago. But now, real advanced students that go to the inner temple in Egypt, they do this moment to moment to moment. Right, everyone? Who's with me to do it moment to moment? Good. All right. All right, I've got an affirmation I want you to say because I think it's pretty powerful, and it applies to what we're talking about. I need my little thing. Okay, so repeat after me. I'm in the process of letting go what I believe I am in order to birth a new experience of my true self. Let's do that one more time. I'm in the process of letting go of what I believe I am, in order to birth a new experience of my true self. And so it is. Amen. I love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And the kids are here. So, all right. Thank you so much, everybody.